Hi guys, welcome back, and it's day 11. And the prompt for this is, have you ever had a paranormal encounter or experienced something unexplainable? Well, I grew up in a haunted house. So yes, for me, a lot of things, and I could really reel off a lot of stuff. As I was growing up, we had a skeleton in the cellar, a very upset spirit that was trying to come out of the cellar. We had the little girl in the garden that used to try and get in the back door. We had a family from the 1940s, the Second World War, that didn't realise they had passed, that was trying to live in our house at the same time. And so it went on. But the one thing I will tell you about, and it was the scariest experience that I had, and that was when I used to sleep. We had like 5 bedrooms in this house, and I had 2 sisters and a brother and my mum and dad. And this particular time, my sister was getting married, and she had the room at the top of the house, and everyone wanted that room. It was the biggest bedroom and they all loved it, but my sister hated that room and she would never tell us why. Well, the night before she got married was an example. She woke up screaming in the night, and my mum ran in and she said, I'm being stung, I'm being stung. And she said it felt like loads of needles going in all over her body. Well, they put that down to nerves of a wedding and thought no more of it. Well, because my brother joined the Navy, he didn't need his room, and we had a lodger instead. And my other sister was quite happy where she was. My mum said, well, you're in the tiny box room. Would you like to take over your sister's bedroom? So I went, yeah, I'd love to. So my dad decorated it for me, and we had lovely paper with little flowers on, all in lilac. I used to get lilac a lot, and lilac reminds me of my dad. He always used to do these sort of wallpapers for me. So I'd have like a pale pink paint and lilac and white wallpaper. It was very girly, very, very lovely. So he made it really nice. I had a lilac carpet, and they got me new bed spread, and because in them days it was sheets and blankets and hot water bottles, but made out of earthenware. I mean, we're going back to time where there was no central heating and the house was big, and it used to be very cold in the winter. So yeah, but they're all things that I look back on, guys, and think that was wonderful. Anyway, getting back to the story, because I get sidetracked. I got the room and it was lovely, and I was so happy in there, and I'd been sleeping in there for about a week, I'd say, when this particular night I used to sleep. My bed was against the wall, and I would always sleep with facing the wall, so my back was outside into the room. I don't know why, but I used to be more comfortable on that side, so I would lay on that side. Well, this particular night I felt my bedclothes moving, and I thought, oh my God, what's in bed with me? I thought it was a spider or something like that, but it wasn't. I turned my head and the sheets had moved. They were like, there was a lump on the side of the bed. Imagine like that's the sheet and there's something under it, and it was lumped up like that. And I thought, oh my God, I was petrified. I couldn't move, I couldn't scream, I couldn't shout for help, and my brain was working overtime, and the more I was getting like really panicky, I couldn't move. It wasn't a night terror, it was just I was paralysed with fear. And all of a sudden I felt something prod me in the side of me, like really hard. Well, it felt like a finger. It felt like somebody going, like that. I pulled the bedclothes. I suddenly got this anger, and I came back and I pulled the bedclothes up, and there was a hand sitting on my bed. I am not joking. It was sitting there, like very menacing, like that. So you imagine there's the bed and there's the hand. It was like that, and it went. I screamed and screamed. My mum come running in, and of course it wasn't there. It had slid down under the bed as she was coming in. I said, there's a hand, Mum, there's a hand. And she looked under the bed, there was nothing there. She said, you were just dreaming. There's nothing there. Well, I couldn't lay there. I sat in the toilet, believe it or not. We had a brand new toilet bathroom and it was so cosy in there and it felt safe. And so when my mum went back to bed, I went down there with a blanket and sat on the toilet and I fell asleep. She found me there in the morning. She said, this has got to stop. Anyway, of course the story went round. Oh, your sister's going mental again. Look what she's coming out with now. And my older sister, who'd been married and she'd come over to visit, she looked at me like, and her eyes was like, oh. So she took me to one side and she said, I had that experience a lot, but I never said anything because Mum would think I was weird. I said, well, why don't you? Because then they're taking the mick out of me. She said, well, I can't because she'll think I'm weird as well. I went, thanks. Anyway, I tried not to think about it. I tried not to. It was really awful. So this went on for a while. And it got worse and worse. This thing was just prodding me on a nightly basis and I wasn't getting much sleep. And in the end, my dad, bless him, was always the one to help me. He knew I had this gifting. He didn't really believe in it, but he sort of went along with it. And it turned out, cutting a long story short, that a man that had lived there years before, he'd been an artist and he lost his hand in a machine that he worked for his brother, and the machine cut his hand off and it was his painting hand. And he just went into himself and he died of a broken heart, really. And so we did things. I'm not going to go into a long story, guys, but we did this thing to help him pass over. And once that happened, the hand went. But it was horrific. That hand was so frightening. It used to prod me on a nightly basis. You imagine a finger that's really going into your side. I was about 11 years old. I mean, it had a profound effect on me. And even though it was sorted and these things got sorted in that house, they left a really strong imprint on me. I mean, now I would know what to do. I would know straight away that this was something that needed to be dealt with. But as a child, you don't know. And so that's my little story. You know, at one point maybe I'll do the whole story on a video. If any of you guys want to hear more of these sort of stories, which are true, believe me, just let me know in the comments below and I might do some now and again. And I did a couple last year, but I don't think they went down that well. So let me know if you're interested, guys, and I'll let you in on some of the stories. Anyway, I'm going to leave that one there. So wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Elaine.